Hi, Delviya. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
All good, dear. All good. So, can you just give a brief detail about yourself, your background that you had in India?
Okay, so I did my uh, I am from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. So recently I've shifted to Bangalore now. So I've done my bachelor's in fashion technology from National Institute of Fashion Technology, Chennai. So after that, I worked for around 1.5 years in a garment manufacturing company called Celebrity Fashions. And during that time, I had an interest of doing masters. So basically, I was interested in doing masters in fashion, but later on, I changed my decision to doing something related to business because that's what I want to do later. So I chose the course supply chain management, and I was looking through the courses in UK, US, and all, and that's when I met you. So
Okay.
after that, you gave me a list of the universities and what are the prerequisites and what is the minimum CGPA, what are the standards, what are the SOPs and all I had to submit. So based on that, first I prepared for my IELTS and I gave my IELTS. And luckily, because I was in that COVID batch, maybe they did not have SAT exams for us. So I did not have to give SAT at that time. And then later on, I created my own SOPs and all. So you had given me a layout. So based on that, I created my SOPs and I had submitted to some of the universities. And that's how I got Adelphi University in New York Garden City.
So it's been how much time that you have been studying there?
Okay, I cannot say it's 1 year, but it's gonna be 1 year in August. Like I left from here on August 19th, and my orientation did start on August 22, but the classes did actually start on August 28.
Okay. So, Delvia, how exactly you observe the cultural change that you being from India first, right? And then shifting
Yeah,
all the way to US, which is almost, I would say that they are the opposite, cultures that we have.
yes.
So, how was your first experience with it? And if there were any challenge, how you find the way to deal with it?
Okay, so the first thing was when I went there, it was very kind of them when I had given my application and everything. Like I got selected for the university, and when my date was nearing, when I had to go there, so the university itself provided a cab for me. So when I
Oh,
reached my airport, that was a great thing. Like the cab came there and they took me to the place I wanted to go, and it was for free. Because I have seen a lot of people who had struggled a lot when they landed in US if they don't know anybody. So I just knew an uncle there, but he couldn't unfortunately make it at that time. So I have heard stories and I have personal experiences of my friends who say that they have issues with the cab when they first reach there
exactly.
because there is a lot of changes because we don't know what how much it would cost for a particular ride. And one thing is that as soon as you go there you might not have the network or anything. You
Exactly.
completely rely on the wi-fi there. And a good thing is that wi-fi is available everywhere, but
Oh,
there are sometimes issues that you will not be able to do any payments. So it's important that you have cash with you until and unless you get your bank account. And that's kind of struggling because uh, the amount of cash you can take with you, and once you reach there sometimes the bank to get a bank account it takes a little more time than you expected
exactly.
because they ask you for an address, they ask you for some more details. So sometimes you might not be having an address that you can give as a proof. So it might take a time, you might have to struggle at that time. And after going there, the people are very lovely there.
Acha.
It's not like here there even when you see strangers, it's a custom to wish them. Even if you don't know
Yes.
them, if you make an eye contact with them, it's necessary for us to wish them. Just say a good morning and ask them hi, how your day is going.
So that makes you somewhere comfortable. Unlike if
Yeah,
we look into the culture of our country, so we have a following that until and unless we know people, we really don't bother about greeting them or asking
yeah,
them if they need any
exactly.
help, because that kind of an experience people also might have in our country. right? But we
Yeah.
do not have that culture to meet and greet very often when we are strangers. So that is something which made you comfortable there.
Yeah, it's actually a very good thing, I would say, because here, even when we see strangers or even when we get into Uber, the only thing we tell the Uber person is that the OTP
Destination.
and then the destination. That's all
True,
we say. But
true.
there, it's mandatory that once you get into a cab, you
Hmm.
need to wish that person. You need to
Hmm.
ask him how his day is going. And in case he starts a conversation with us, it's our duty to like
Respect.
talk to him, like engage in a
Very true.
conversation with him as much as possible. So we can't just randomly go into the cab, tell him the OTP and say that, yeah, that's all. And you can't just put in your earphones and just don't talk to him. If he's making a conversation, we have to, and we have to greet them. And when we leave the cab also, we need to say thank you. It's not just about the cab. It's about the restaurants you go, or it's about any food. Even if you go to a food cart, you see somebody in train, you see people anywhere, they are looking at you. It's a customary to say, to wish them actually. And as I have seen, the people here there are very nice, like
Yeah.
they will help you. And they are always willing to have a conversation with you even if they don't know you. They won't indulge in personal details. They won't ask you like
Exactly.
where are you staying or what are you studying. They won't
The
ask you.
general
They'll just
conversation,
go into
social.
a general. They'll ask about the climate. They'll ask about,
Uh,
okay, did you have food, or if it's during, did you have a coffee or something like that. They don't indulge into any personal conversations, and I think people there don't like it when you indulge into personal conversations.
Obviously, everyone should
Yeah.
have their own space, and I think Western culture has that power to respect the space of individuality everywhere. Right.
Yeah, they
So,
have their own space. They don't like it if you try
hmm.
to interfere that space. They want their own
So how
space,
has
actually.
been your experience when students generally like you? They try to apply or they are having a plan to apply for the education in US specifically. I'm talking about. The first thing that comes up is a racism, right?
Yeah.
So have you had any experience of racism, or have you seen anything in the atmosphere, or how you will explain this?
I never had personally any racism there.
Oh,
But
wow.
there are things like they say, like all the Asians come under the brown people category.
Yes, yes,
All
yes.
the Africans, they come under the black people
Black
category.
people.
I haven't seen any racism there, but there are places in US where people say it's not safe to be there, maybe because of the guns violence. But I have only seen a minority of people who have said to me, don't go to this place because this place is flooded by black people. There's only a minority of people who have said that to me, not most of the people. But yeah, those minority people feel that the guns and violences are because of the black people.
Okay,
And
so but
maybe
that is
some people who
only
are
2 to
old
3%.
say something like brown people. If you go to some grocery store and you might meet some brown, like old white American lady, or somebody who is uh, like age of around
Middle
80s or
age or
90s,
above
yeah.
that, yeah.
No, not middle age. They are
Okay.
quite very helpful. Someone around 80s and 90s, if you meet them, they might sometimes say that you brown people have come here and all. But other than that, everybody are so sweet there.
But I think 1 to 2% is everywhere. It is the presence of this
Yeah,
1 to 2% is everywhere. But
yeah.
generally, the decision is made out of the majority of experiences. So that you never had any racism experience
I
there.
never had, like, I had very good experiences even with the white and the black people there. They had been so, like, the first time I went there, we were very clueless about how to use the public transport. And when we were coming at night, like, the business school have classes at night. Mostly the students who are doing masters will have their classes in the evening there.
Okay.
Okay, so there are chances that people who are taking master classes, their classes might end up at 9:45 p.m. also.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
data analytics and business classes mostly end at night. So at that time, even when we are going in bus, they are very helpful. They are very caring. They ask us where we want to get down. They ask us if we need any support. So I never had any racism there. It's
So,
quite of been
in a
good.
way, culturally, you have had a very smooth journey, I would say.
Yeah,
Culturally.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now coming on to the education pattern, Delviya,
Mhm.
as you have completed of good 16 year of education from India, right?
Mhm.
And then moving to altogether a different country, different university. However, people are a little skeptical about choosing a private university at times when it comes on US. So, how your education experience has been? I mean, what is the or what do you think is a good part of their education, which has actually helped you growing into your career?
I would say the good part is that you don't mug up books here, like in
Okay.
US. We do not have a particular curriculum, I would say. You
Okay.
have the topics to be covered in every course, but
Hmm.
they do not give you a specific book. They might tell you these are the books that you can refer, and they will share the presentations with you. And you have a online platform where they upload all the assignments, all the materials there. So everything that we do there gets updated there. All the assignments
Okay.
are online, like you have to submit it online, and our grades get updated there. Everything is done there. And the difference is that, like, while I was studying here, there is something called, when you answer some question, there are things to be written from the book. These things are to be there. These were in the paragraph, so you need to write those in the paragraphs. But in US, it's completely different. They don't want you to refer to the books and write anything from the books. If you're
Okay.
trying to write anything, the same para or the same sentence from the book or the article, they want you to cite that. Citation
Oh,
should be done, that you have taken it from this so and so book, or you have taken
so
it. We use
exact kind of
APA
a
citation here.
bibliography has to be there that where you have
Yes.
taken this content from and everything. So there's a less of spoon feeding, I would say.
Yeah, and they won't prefer if we take it from any book or article. Even if
Okay.
we do citation, we might lose marks for that because they want
Oh,
us to write on our own words. Uh,
okay.
this is something, plagiarism is something very
Which is
important
a
there. They
taboo.
consider it
Yeah.
very strictly. So each and every assignment that we submit, each and every exam that we submit, that goes through an online Turnitin. So there they check for the plagiarisms. So
Oh.
most of the marks, if people are losing, it's because of the plagiarism. If you're writing your own words,
So it
they
would be
don't
very
mind.
difficult for the Indian students, then I would say,
Yeah,
because
it is.
since the very beginning, we are very much
We are
into
being,
cramming, mugging up, learning, or referring to the books. And at time it is observed that the Indian student might lose their marks because they are not copying from the content provided to them. So that wise, it must have
exactly.
been very challenging.
Yeah, and they don't give you direct questions. They never give you
Ah,
direct questions. All the questions are like an essay where they are going to ask you for your opinion. It does not matter if you say yes or no to the opinion, but it matters how you explain your opinion there. You get marks
oh.
for that. It's not,
So
they
they
don't
have
consider that this is the particular answer.
So they have that space to, I would say, upgrade or appreciate the individual learning on the topic
Yes, they do.
rather
They do.
than blindly following your teachers, your professors, or your faculty members.
Sure, sure.
So was it easy for you or difficult?
Uh, to be frankly speaking, I'm not good at mug-ups. That's
Okay.
why I hated biology. Like I cannot by heart things. But
Okay.
yeah, it was kind of difficult because when they ask you a question, you have a lot of thing in your mind. But to write it
Right.
down as an essay, you find it little difficult because you might have to take ideas from the article and all. Like
Right.
what we have
Right.
thought as a point might only come as like half a page. And if
Hmm.
they've given a bigger word limit, you might have to write a little more. So at first, it was kind of little difficult that for everything you had to write your opinion. You got confused, but later on it became easy. And the other thing is that they don't like it if we write a lot. They
Hmm.
want us to stick to the word limit. If they say 300 to 400, even if you write till 300, they're very happy about that. They don't want us to go till 400.
Even
300
just
to
writing
320
10
is
words.
perfectly fine. Yeah. And we Indians have this issue where we write a lot, like a Mahabharat, we
Exactly.
write everything. Even in socials, I used to write like 1 or 2 pages just for the marks. But
Even I'll
here,
tell you, this is a culture that, in India, most of the time, and this is not a fault of the students, I would say. this is a fault somewhere, or I would say a loophole or area of opportunity in the system itself. Then let's suppose if the student is given that you are supposed to write an answer in 250 words, they would not look on counting and managing the words. However, they will calculate it with the number of pages.
Yes, they do.
So they generally have that tendency, okay, 250 pages, that means 2.5 pages.
Yeah.
They calculate it this way.
Yeah, and the thing is, even if you write a lot, you get it in the remarks that this was the word limit and you did not have to write this much. They even mark the paragraphs where we have written something extra, and they will say that this is not needed. You have added it at extra. So they're very cautious about that.
And how about the faculties and professors there?
The faculties are very good. So everything, like we have discussions there, but the thing is, like in India, we are very friendly to our faculties. Like we can go to their room, sit there and talk to them. We have friendly chats, gupshops and all. That's not the thing that I've observed there. It's very professional there. You meet your professor in the class, you greet them, you have discussions, you might have some kind of, you share jokes with them in the class. Then you have the videos and the lectures going on. After the class is over, they'll be talking about the assignments and they leave. So anything regarding the assignments or at the class or any doubts we have, we post it online. Like for each of the subject, we have the online discussion group. So we can post it there, or otherwise we can email the professor. The good thing is that you get the reply for the email as soon as possible.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, but so even they don't prefer, and we don't prefer meetups with our professor in their office rooms. It's always through emails.
It's a mutual consent.
Yeah. At first, you might feel weird, but then later on, you get used to that, and you would also prefer only emailing them rather than meeting them.
It's more on the yield by, I would say. So professors are there for clarifying your educational or professional doubts if you have related to the subject, and they are fitting to that niche. And I think that is the maximum yield a student and a professor can bring, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
So talking about, as you have completed almost 1 year, that means 3 semesters you might have completed.
Yeah.
Right. So how is the industrial exposure you have got so far?
To be frankly speaking, I haven't got much of the industrial exposure as of right now. So since I had done fashion technology, since I was doing business, I needed prerequisites like maths and statistics, which I didn't have. So I had maths on my first semester and statistics on my second. And most of our classes will be like hybrid, that is online and offline, or some are offline. So for international students, every semester you're only allowed to take one online class. Everything should be offline other than that. So it depends on us. So we had classes, we have discussions, we have case studies going on. But in case of internship or industrial exposure, we didn't have much. So what they have told us that we can choose internships any of the semester that we want. We have to pay for that as a 3 credit course fee, but we can choose, we can do internships, and there are internship career centers in our universities that help us in getting internships. So what
it's basically you have a center there which will be eventually helping you for the internship. Now it is on the will of the student that in which semester you would like to make it a part of. And as you were not having the mathematics and statics, you chose to complete that first in the first year, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, even if you talk about jobs or internships in USA, it's not like India. Like here in India, our universities will be saying that we'll be having interviews and sessions from so and so companies. We have those job recruitments going on. So that's not the same thing in US. It's everything based on us. We have to find our own internships. We have to find our own jobs. So these career centers are only going to help us in finding those jobs. Yeah. They're not going to provide us with so and so companies and all. So if their colleges or the career center is getting some offers from any of the companies, or they see any job postings, they're gonna provide those information to the students.
So basically what I see here, or what I can derive out of this conversation of yours, that getting anything in US is not a big task. It's just that you need to be self-sufficient and you need to be very proactive during your education so that it can actually equip with the requirements that you can meet out while you are applying for the employment.
Exactly. Here in US, everything is like, uh, what should I say? Everything is about yourself and whatever you have
Self-treatment.
to do. Yeah, self-treatment. Anything, any issues you have to solve it on your own. There, it's not like your parents are going to come there or somebody is going to come there to help you.
So can
Each
we
of the
derive
every
this,
problems.
Delvia? Can we derive out of this conversation? Can we come on to a conclusion like that most of the Indian students struggles to get the internship or getting a job or during the cultural differences, they somewhere lack as they might have had their life in India with full of dependency on some or the other way. Right. So when it comes
Exactly,
on education,
exactly.
you are completely dependent on your teachers, your tutors, wherein you have the right to ask your trainers or to ask your teacher, even after getting your tuitions, if I'm unable to get this course, what are you
Hmm.
teaching? We
Hmm.
use these sentences very often in India, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the
yeah.
students, those who have that tendency of being dependent in any manner, maybe on their parents, maybe on their teachers, maybe on the society, maybe on their pair, or whatever,
Hmm.
then things are going to definitely get very challenging for you in US because it is
Yes,
all about the individuality and carving your niches individually yourself. There's no one who can help you. There will be people who can guide you. They
yes.
can show you the way how to get there, but no one would walk along with you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a very good thing. There is no spoon feeding there at all. It all
Ah,
depends on your talent, your hard work. Nobody is
exactly.
gonna give you some, like, nobody is gonna give you any type of help in getting internships or jobs. The only thing you get is you get references. The
Correct.
professors here in US will give you references, but it completely depends on you. So anyone who have graduated right now, my seniors, they're trying to find jobs through Indeed, LinkedIn, references, and all. So it's all about how you are trying to find jobs and how you're going to present
And I
yourself to the
think you
company.
need to, in that way, I would say, the student would definitely be finding an issue if they try to search everything towards the end of their course.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I think it will be a challenge because if you are self-driving things, you need time to mature things up.
Yeah.
So the students, ideally, what will be the better takeaway of this interview for the viewers or for the student is going to be that they should equip and prepare themselves from the very day one, the moment you have stepped into US, start preparing and nurturing yourself for the future jobs. Do not wait for the first year or second year to get over and then look for the OPTs.
Yeah,
Start
I would
preparing
suggest that.
yourself. Right. Okay.
It
So
it
now
depends.
coming
Like
on.
right now, there is a recession going on, so the amount of job opportunities or internship in US is a little tight. They say that might be over in 2 to 3 months
Hmm.
because it's been there from the previous year, December, but it's gonna be fine now. So it's not going to be an issue right now. But I
So
would
it's
also
just a
suggest the
challenge
students
that
who are
people have.
looking, yeah,
It's just that the challenge people have that they rely on just half of the information. They do not work. They actually think only for the destination. They never bother to know the step-by-step procedure to get there.
yes. And I would also would love to make I want people to know that when you're trying to apply for courses in US, I would prefer that somebody takes a course which is more than 1 year course, because a
Huh.
1 year course has
Hmm.
a lot of credits that you need to complete in each semester, and it's
Right.
lot of tiring. You do not have time for anything else, not to find an internship, and you might be struggling with your day to day life as well as your courses. So
Very true.
the thing that I got to know from my friends, everybody, even when I was coming, they said that do not try to force yourself into a 1 year or a 10-month course. That might be a little difficult because it takes time for people who are especially from another country to adjust in that country, because we are
Exactly.
culturally very different. The food, everything, it takes a time, and even
Very
for the
true.
climate, it takes time for us to adjust there.
So the students, those who are having that thought that I will just go and I will quickly finish it up, my because it is all credit-based program. So I would try to finish all the 40, 42, 44 credit, 45 credit in just 1 year. Then it will be a
Mhm.
challenging and the student would end up getting nothing with them.
Yeah, even if they're going to take a 1 year course, what they need to look at it is like they need to look at the course listings for themselves. Like what
Okay.
are the courses that are available and what are the courses they are going to choose for that particular stream that they are taking. Based on that,
Okay.
they can decide whether they need to take a 1 year or a 2 year course. Because I have two, three friends who went for business data analytics,
Okay.
and two of them did a 1 year course, and to be frankly speaking, it was very tiring. Yeah, they completed it with like good grades, good CGPA. They had CGPAs around 3.7, but the amount of effort they had to put, like they did not have time for anything. They just had to do their assignments, they had quizzes every time. So that 10-month course had a very big impact on their personal lives at that time.
Personal life, mental health, I would say, because to take out
Yeah,
time, like
exactly.
free time, it
Yeah.
becomes very challenging.
Yeah, so
So,
whoever is looking for courses, they should have a look at all the subjects that are listed there, and they should have a confidence that they should be able to do that. If you have
great.
something like data analytics or something like a biology, something related to that, I would prefer that you take a course which is more
More
than
than one
one
year.
year, like 1.5 years or something. Like my
Ah,
course
very
is
good.
1.5 year.
Okay. So you will be having two more semesters now.
Yeah, no, I have one more semester left after I go, because the
Okay.
basic thing is I took two courses in the summer. I have
Oh,
heard
okay.
from my seniors that you should not keep more than two subjects in your last semester, because
Okay.
it's the last semester. From the starting, you try to find jobs, you try to find
Exactly.
interviews and references. So try to keep like the minimum number of courses as possible. So in most of
Okay,
the
so the
colleges, it's around three
second
courses.
takeaway, yes. So second takeaway of this interview, the viewers can take is that try to complete maximum credit in the first year itself, and try to
Yeah.
keep your last semester as free as possible so that you can dedicate the good amount of time for the finding the jobs, internship, and being making yourself ready for it.
Yes, exactly. That's one of the tips that I got from all of my seniors.
All
Everybody
the
has done
seniors.
that. Not only the Indians I'm talking about, all the Asians or the Americans I've met, all my seniors have told me the same thing. Just try to
Oh,
keep the minimum courses in the last semester.
great. Now, coming on to your living expenditures. So,
Mhm.
how you have been managing it? What is the minimum that incurs to you? Which location, which part of USA you have been studying, and you've been staying rather? And how is
Mhm.
that all procedure, which and how the students can smoothify this?
Okay, so the thing is, as soon as you go there, you might feel that everything has been messed up, because $1 is around 82 rupees here. So as soon as you go there, you do not feel like eating anything, going outside, because everything there starts from $1.5. So
Okay.
even the chips packet, the Lay's chips packet that we get for 10 rupees here, starts there at $1.25. So in your
Oh,
mind,
so
you will
that
be
is
like, why
around
should I spend
100,
100? Yeah, we'll be like,
rupees.
why
Yeah.
should I spend 100 rupees on this particular chips packet? And if you go to some restaurants and all, $10 will go out of your hand easily. And one
Oh,
important thing here is that tips are very important. You need to
okay.
give tip to the Uber drivers, the
Okay.
restaurants. It's important. You can't
It's a
just,
culture.
yeah, it's a culture here. Not even,
Okay.
I'm just not talking about the restaurants. If you're ordering food online also, the tips are very
Oh,
important. So as
okay.
soon as you go there, the dollar conversion becomes you feel helpless at that time. And yeah, even I felt helpless because I didn't know how the money was going. So stay in New York. So New York has like three parts, but I stay in the Long Island city because my college is there. I don't stay near my college because that place is a little more expensive. And the second thing, if I need to buy groceries, I need to take a cab or a public transport.
Okay.
So it's kind of very expensive right there. So I stay in a part called Hicksville. So Hicksville is a place which is mostly populated by the Indians and the Asians, like the Pakistani Afghanis. So the thing is that the you might get houses like rooms for something low as $650. It might
Okay.
go till $600, not less than that. If you're going to share the room also, you might get it for $550 or something with somebody. And the good thing where I stay is that I have a lot of Indian supermarkets and Indian restaurants, Pakistani restaurants
You get
nearby.
whatever your taste bud demands for.
Yeah, so the spices, the sabjis that I want, I can buy it from the supermarket, not an issue. You get Parle Ji, you get Oreo, everything. All
Okay.
the Indian
Okay.
items here, frozen items like the samosas and all. The
Oh,
only thing is that if you crave for those things, don't look at the money because then you'll feel bad about it because it's very expensive. It is
okay.
expensive.
So what is your
But then
monthly general expense so far? I mean, you have been there for a year, so whatever expenses
yeah,
are
I
there,
can
they must
say
have
that
had a streamline.
yeah, I spend around $750.
per
So the other
per
thing
month.
is the mobile networks. Yeah, per month. So
Okay.
the thing is, as soon as you reach US, all the international students, irrespective of India, anywhere, the Europe or anywhere, they all try to find on-campus jobs.
Okay.
So that's how we maintain our living. So
So,
uh,
is it also allowed for you to get an online on-campus job?
we do get online on-campus jobs, but there's not much like that. It's mostly offline on-campus jobs. And important thing about US is that the students here cannot do any work outside the campus. It's illegal
Okay.
here. Like I
Okay.
have heard that in UK you can go and work outside the
Even in
university.
Canada, it is very common.
Yeah, but in US, all the international students are only allowed to work inside the campus, not outside the
Okay.
campus. And every week, they can work only for 20 hours.
I think that is almost all the countries are having. Even Canada was having this, the 20 hour per week they can work. So
Yeah.
let's suppose if a student is working for 20 hours per week on campus,
Mhm.
what is the nominal wages that he'll be able to make for himself?
It's like nominal wages. It starts from $15. Like some of the jobs you might get $16, but most of them it's for
$16 per
$15
hour.
per hour. It's yeah, the salary system in US is per hour. Even for a
Per hour.
job, it's per hour.
Per hour.
So it's $15 per hour.
Hmm.
Nominal one is $15 per hour. And I think it's pretty much easy for anybody to manage their expenses if you know how to
So this
save
is
and manage
basically
everything.
$300 per week,
Yeah. And you
right?
get
So
paid bi-weekly.
weekly only. Yes, they have a weekly
Uh,
payment system. So by the end of the month, I mean, as per
mm,
our Indian calculation, the candidate will be able to earn no less than $1,200.
yeah. Some goes in tax. That's a different thing. They
Okay.
have a lot of taxes going on.
But I
Like
think that they have
even,
taxes, but they have returns for those taxes. So you don't
yeah,
feel bad in paying so.
while you get your salary, you feel bad because they take a certain amount from you. Like it might be around 50, 60, $100 at times, like mostly
Okay.
100 to $200 at times. But the
Uh,
good thing is that every year during January to February we can file our taxes. And when I filed my taxes, I got the returns in just a week. It
So
was
I think
transferred to my bank account.
exactly that is what my point is, that let's suppose even if
Mhm.
the tax has been deducted, in a way that
Mhm.
has been repaid to you. Either
Yeah,
they
it's
release
been
the
repaid.
amount, either if you are a citizen there, they will give you in terms of the medicals, the transportations, and everything. So I think
Mhm.
that is something which is very friendly and very breathing for the
Pre-
students.
Yeah. And medical health insurance is very important there. So, like in Adelphi University, the first year you need to take it from the Adelphi University itself. From the second year, if there is any other health insurance that matches with the requisites of the Adelphi University, you can take it from that. But it's important for all the international students to have health insurance. So that's a very important thing.
So we did not even realize when it passed good 35 minutes having a chat with you.
No problem.
So towards the end, Delvia, what is that one tip or advice you would like to share for the Indian students who are interested in applying for the US education system?
Okay. First of all, you need to understand that things are not going to be the same as it's in India for you guys. So once you reach there, everything changes, and you need to be self-sufficient there. Like you cannot depend on anybody. Nobody, everybody just cares about their life. So it's how you take things in your hands. And the other thing is that before you start applying, make sure that you go through the course. You go through the course requisites, like what is all needed, what is all not needed, what are the courses that I can take, and you should have a confidence if you can complete the course in that course duration or not, or you can complete it before that. So don't make up a mind saying that if it's a 2-year course, I'll try to complete it in 1 year. Once you go there, once you have an idea about the course, when the class starts, you can make up your mind whether you can complete it in a year or so, because I've seen people do that. But don't make up a mind here itself. And it's kind of different when you go there, so you need to be prepared for that. Be it on the terms of your assignment or exams or something, everything, it's not like a mug up here. You need to do it on your own. You need to express your views there. That's the most important thing there. And yeah, the cultural difference or the climate or the food, it might take a little time there, but eventually you will start adjusting there. And before you apply to any university, you need to go thorough with the university, look at what are the courses that they are famous for. And the most important thing is that when you're coming to US, try to have some connections in US, some people who can give you references for jobs in US. Because as much as I've heard from my seniors and from some of the relatives who stay there, they've told me that most of the jobs work based on references. So it depends on the
Okay.
references that you get. So you need to make a good connection in US if you need to get the jobs. And it's always good that you do internship if it's possible, because doing internship, you get a high chance of getting jobs. And the other thing you should be worried about is your visas. You should have a pretty clear idea about the visas, because after a student visa gets over, like after our classes gets over, after we graduate, we get only 90 days to find a job. In that 90
Okay.
days, you need to find a job, and then only our visa gets extended. And after that, you have H1B visas and process.
Hmm.
That's another thing, but you should be prepared for that.
Everything comes with the finding a job.
Yeah, everything comes with. So this is something even I had an idea, but I was not. I did not have much idea about the OPT or the CPT system there. But after joining there, I got to know that the in the US, after you graduate, you get 90 days to get a job. So once you find a job within the 90 days, it might go till 120 days. It depends on when you get your employment ID. Then only your visa gets extended. Just because they said that you have a 5 years visa doesn't mean that you stay there for 5 years until and
Right.
unless you get a job.
There are
And the
conditions to
more
meet out.
yeah, and the most important thing is that you can find jobs only related to the stream that you have chosen. If I've chosen supply chain management, I need to find jobs related to supply chain management. Nothing else will work out there. But
So it
it's a
has to
very
be
good
very
exposure.
relevantly connected with your education. One line.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Unlike India, you cannot apply. I mean, you have done your MBA from finance and you can start searching a job in the sales. This is
No.
not going to work there.
Like what we do in engineering, we do some kind of engineering. Some people go into the IT department and they work there. That does not work here. You need to find something which is relevant. So you need to have a clear cut idea when you are applying for that course, that these are the jobs available for me in this particular, and make sure that you go through the job roles too. Like what is the opportunity of those job roles in US? Because
Very
that
true.
is very important there.
Very true. I think the students and the viewers are definitely going to have a lot of insight, lot of clarity on how they are supposed to initiate their preparations and their process. And
No problem.
thank you so much, Delviya, for taking
No,
out
I should
your.
thank you, Shubhangi, because I got a very good insight about the US systems or how the things were done, and you were very helpful because you gave me some what to say, you gave me some more insights about the universities, how to make my SOPs and all the requisites and all. So thank you for that. Thank you for your help.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for the
Thank you.
connections.
Thank you. Thank you so much, dear. We would
No
always
problem.
believe in, working on the student's side, right? Because
Yeah,
we
yeah.
understand that once the education is done, this is not only the education that you're going there to complete, there will be an event lined up like employment, like your profiling, like the relevance and everything. So we believe in working on all the channels so that the student should not come to a space wherein he should regret taking a decision of coming to US and having an education there, because there's a
Yes, exactly.
we put in all the effort just to make sure that the student is going in a right direction, and the money that the parents are investing should be counted as investment, should not be counted as the a wastage. So wishing
Yes,
you
you're
all
right.
the luck, Delvia. We
Thank you.
definitely
Thank you
we
so
are
much.
connected. We would definitely be connected, stay
Sure,
in
sure.
touch forever. We
Yeah,
wish you
sure.
all the luck, and we wish to have a conversation with you once you get your job and visa extended.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. And all the best to you too, Shubhangi, and
Thank
to
you.
Smart.
Thank you. Have a
Bye.
good
Bye.
day. Bye.
You too.